Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
Please like my videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And make sure you have your notification settings set to all notifications by tapping that bell icon, or for the blind/visually impaired users that are using VoiceOver or something else, make sure it says personalized notifications, something like that. Make sure though that you have your notification setting set to do all notifications so that you get all of my notifications. My gosh, guys, these are extreme Apple rumors. Hey guys, this is Andrew from the Weird Channel Amazement, and I'm going to be talking about the Apple rumors. So there has been Apple rumors circulating so much about the Apple iPad Air 4, the Apple iPad Mini 5, and the Mini 6, and the 10.2-inch iPad. Those two tablets have basically been neglected, but we've got rumors for the iPad Air 4, and we are hearing a little bit about the iPad Mini 6. Now here's my predictions of the iPad Air 4 and my predictions about the iPad Mini 6, and based on those predictions, they're my predictions for the iPad 8th generation, which is probably going to be released on at the iPhone event, where the 7th generation device was also released last year. But this year's iPhone 12 event probably going to be the breeding ground where the release of the 8th gen iPad. It's probably going to have that flat edge design, no quad speakers. Maybe they're going to incorporate stereo speakers. I've been wanting that all so much, because I absolutely hate when the iPad's in landscape mode, and there's two speakers on one side of the iPad. It just makes it sound really weird. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, but guys, it would be really nice if Apple would, put the stereo speakers in different orientations, so that there's one at the left side and the right side when you hold it in landscape mode. They're probably going to remove the home button there. It's probably going to be like the iPad Air 3rd generation, but with a slightly thicker body. Same design though as the iPad Pro 11-inch. Probably same display, 10.2-inch, maybe 10.5-inch, because the iPad Air is supposed to move up to 10.8 inches. So maybe something will happen there. Let me think though. Yeah, probably will be a 10.5-inch display though. Because that's what the iPad Air 3rd generation was this year, and it's moving up to 10.8 inches. So I'm will assume that maybe the 7th gen, the 8th gen iPad will have that same display. It might get the same camera module as the iPad Air, maybe a little bit smaller. Maybe keep that 8-megapixel camera. But if it gets flashed, that'd be nice. But who needs a camera on the iPad? See my Apple Talks video called Apple Talks #1 Part 1. Why would you need a camera on the back of the iPad? And I will discuss. But anyways, guys, a little bit off track there. Like what the heck? I think that the iPad Mini 6 will be a really good design. It might have lightning. Rumors are circulating that it will have lightning. I think it'll have USB-C. I hope it gets USB-C, because the rest of the iPads are, I'm doubting that they will not get USB-C. But you know what? If it gets lightning, that's fine too. I have tons of lightning cables at my house and only one USB-C cable. But that's okay. They will include USB-C in the box. Let me think. What else? The iPad Mini 6 might also get the same exact stereo speaker thing, because apparently, like if the iPad Air 4 is not getting the quad speaker setup, then the iPad Mini 6 and the iPad 8th generation, they're not getting it either. The removal of the headphone jack's gonna be yanked off there probably. You're probably going to get rumors are circulating about an 8-point-something-inch display, like a bigger display, I would say. But I don't know about that, guys. you know what? When the newer iPad mini comes out, we will see a price drop on the older iPad mini, and I'll make a video on if that one will be still worth it if I get my hands on the iPad mini 5th generation, which is the current iPad mini so far, but the iPad mini 4th generation, I can tell you, is still a pretty good tablet today in 2020, and you can save money by buying it. But anyways, guys, you know what? Um, let's see, the iPad Air 4, or the iPad Air 4th generation, as I like to call it, just like I like to call it the iPad mini 6th generation. It's gonna get the recycled design from the 2018 11-inch iPad Pro. The camera's going to be one lens orientation, camera bump unit type thing like that, flash, microphones like that. No quad speakers though. USB-C. That's kind of definitely. I mean, I guess. It'd be really surprising if they didn't do that. It's going to receive the A13 Bionic processor, which is the same one that's found in the iPhone 11 series and the iPhone SE 2nd generation. And it's also going to not be receiving the 120 Hz refresh rate. It probably will get 4 or 5. It probably will get 4 gigabytes of RAM. Because the 2020 device has got 6 gigabytes of RAM. And it might get it probably will get a slightly smaller 10.8-inch display, as I mentioned earlier in the video, as well as just a 60 Hz refresh rate, Face ID, no home button, gesture control, futuristic thing, which, you know what, I'm in on that one finally, guys. Smart connector relocation to the back, so you can use the Apple Magic Keyboard for 11-inch iPad Pro. Also, smart connector location on the side for pairing and charging of the Apple Pencil 2, which probably will be compatible with that tablet, being as it will probably get that design from the 2018 iPad Pro 11-inch, and meaning that it probably will be compatible with that same exact Apple Pencil. But rumors are circulating, and people are saying that maybe Apple will make an Apple Pencil 1st generation with the USB-C on the bottom, or they'll just, not put USB-C on that iPad and, do the stupid thing. And why would you do that, though? I don't know. You know what? It might even have reverse wireless charging. That's a feature I want so much on these iPads. Because you've got so many wireless charging phones, you can just place it on your iPad, and boom, bing, bang, boom, done. But maybe Apple will even, on the iPad Air 4th generation, they might even, give us the vibrations. I hope they give us vibration motors on the next iPad, because iPads seriously need them. Also, I hope they give this iPad a mute switch that has different options, so it can go up and down like the iPhone to mute and unmute the audio, or back and forth to switch the turn on and off the orientation lock. And also, seriously, guys, this iPad is gonna be a powerhouse if it gets the A13 Bionic processor. I'm thinking that the iPad 8th generation will probably get the A12 Bionic, maybe the A11 Bionic, at the least, because the A10 Fusion is getting pretty old, I would say, and thus Apple really needs to change their processors up. I would say that one would be at least getting 3 gigabytes of RAM, as well as the iPad Mini and iPad Air will be getting 4 gigabytes of RAM. And the 2020 iPad Pro refresh that was supposed to be happening, probably not happening. 2021 iPad Pro refresh. Yeah, here's what I think about that. It's gonna be a whole new design, 5G, A14X processor, absolute powerhouse of a iPad. But it's going to be probably compatible with the 11-inch and 12.9-inch 4th gen cases, and third and 4th gen in the cases, 5th gen iPad Pros though. And it's going to be really weird though because like it's already weird with the naming scheme because of the fact that Apple had the 12.9-inch for all 4 generations of their iPad Pro, and then the 10.5-inch for the first 2 generations of iPad Pro. And then for the second two, they switched to the 11-inch, which made it, and then Apple had to make it extremely confusing by saying that it was in the 11-inch second generation and the 12.9-inch fourth generation, leading people to think that maybe like this 11-inch second generation was actually like something else. And a whole different, completely different tablet. But in reality, it's just the same tablet. It's just with a bigger screen size and body size. It might even use the same smart connector. I'm not sure though. Hopefully, Apple though finds out how to rigidize the design, fix that design on their iPad flat edges on their iPad Pros before they move it into the other iPads, so we don't get bend gate on every single iPad, and Android tablets start to come up again because of the bend gate thing. And they better get that fixed for their iPhones, otherwise they're really gonna be doomed. I mean, their iPhone sales, it's not even 50% of the, not even 25% of the phone sales in the country. Android has 75% of them, and that's just going to rise if Apple hasn't fixed Bendgate, because apparently they're going to have the iPhone 12 take that design from the iPad. They probably will have to fix that, and they'll have to fix that. The hopefully that the iPhone 12 get USB-C as well. Maybe Apple will even take what I think and put the home button on the side of the back of their devices with the Touch ID sensor in it. That would be so cool because I absolutely love the home button. It's just I'm glad I went really good performance. So I'm just done. I'm gonna get the devices without the home button. But if Apple brings the home button back, that would be the best thing ever. And they don't even have to bring it back on the screen. And sorry for that outside noise, guys. But anyways, it's absolutely crazy. These rumors are just circulating like insane because people have nothing else to do but research everything and having the Apple service. Well, I won't say that, but Apple is just giving this stuff out to inter sites, and they're spreading it to outer sites. And now these normal YouTubers are taking the rumors and spreading them out even further on their YouTube channels. And I'm doing the same, taking those rumors from the YouTube channels, spreading them out even further on my YouTube channel so people can see them. And here's my prediction and what I think is going to happen. I don't think that the size actually will increase. Maybe on the iPad Air 4 because of the fact that what Apple did there was the first two iPad Airs were that same exact size, and they used that same exact. And the first three iPad Airs used that same exact design. The first two, of them had 9.7-inch design, 9.7-inch screens, and then the third one had 10.5-inch screen, and then after that, I think that Apple was going to keep the 10.5-inch display and upgrade the chipset in there, as well as take the iPad 8th generation and just keep the display at 10.2 inches. Like, I think they're going to do this because in 2018, the chipset was upgraded, but the screen wasn't. And then in 19, which is last year, they took and upgraded the screen size, but not the chipset. And then after that, I think that they're going to maybe even change the design to match the rest of the iPads, but keep that screen size the same and upgrade the chipset into there. Keeping the same screen size and include the A11 or the A12 Bionic processors. Maybe even the A13 Bionic if we are the lucky ducks that I wish we were. But Apple is just some kind of person who doesn't take suggestions really, who doesn't take suggestions that seriously and loves to make people mad with the stupidest products that they create, such as their Apple Pencil, which I absolutely hate, and there's no use for it for me. But other people love that Apple Pencil. And another one that I absolutely hate, why they ever create that thing, I don't know, the Apple TV. That is the stupidest product. And you know what? It's just because of the remote. It's just, Oh, speaking of Apple TV, rumors are also speculating that a new Apple TV with the A12X processor will be coming out. Hopefully, Apple takes that remote. Hopefully, Apple takes the Siri remote and absolutely turns it around, changes the design so much, too much that it's unrecognizable, because I would buy that thing. The Apple TV is blazing fast compared to the Amazon Fire TV stick, which is slow as heck compared to the Apple TV, but it's pretty fast. I mean, you know what? The the hopefully Apple takes the Apple TV and Siri remote and adds buttons to it. Maybe even gives that thing USB-C, which would be so cool. And refreshes their Magic Mouse, Magic Trackpad, and Magic Keyboard to include USB-C ports on them, since they seem to be, going USB-C on all of their Macs, Maybe they should just do everything. And one more thing before I come out of this rumor thing and stuff that maybe I think is going to happen. I think that since Samsung and Apple are competing, I really think that Apple might even make a refrigerator with a tablet on it with a home button. We saw iPads and stuff like that. And we see that Apple and I saw at least that Apple could do it. There's no proof though that they've done it. Absolutely not. Well, I do see that happening in the future. Now, this is the Weird Channel Amazement, and this is Andrew. Please like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you have your notification settings so that you get all of my notifications. And that will help the YouTube algorithms promote my content to more people who seem to be interested in it. And it will help you guys with your quarantine boredom, and it will help me with my view count, even though I don't get my videos monetized. So this is Andrew signing off and saying bye, like, and subscribe.